Hey, hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to my channel, I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel and all my channels, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, to see how they played as karmic themes, how we understand why everything's playing out the way that it is. Really important when you're dealing with karmic mates that create a lot of illusions, facades to make you think something that really isn't true. The reason why is so that you will change your habits and your behaviorisms to suit what you perceive. And a lot of times that's what our karma is defined by. It's whether or not we were honoring ourselves or were we honoring what someone else wanted, whether we knew it or not. A lot of times we were deceived. That's what karmic mates do. They come into our life to teach us. Unfortunately, a lot of times there's a lot of negative, retribution that comes from being in that type of a connection. Though we always have an opportunity to change, to heal. There's many different realities that play out at one time. We don't need to stay connected to someone in a place that keeps us feeling bad about ourselves. Again, these karmic mates, that's what they do. They come into our life and they affect us, and they affect us in a way that we don't, a lot of times don't want to date again. We don't want to let someone get that close again because, hey, we've been betrayed, we've been hurt. So, again, the whole thing and the whole point to shadow readings is to help you heal the effects of that trauma so that you'll want to date, so that you'll want to go out and experience life because it's not about trusting other people, it's about learning how to trust yourself. And that's what shadow healing does because we integrate the spiritual lesson and then transmute that negative energy. We're the alchemists of our life. And being the alchemist of your life, that means that you have the power to turn pain into power. You have that spiritual sovereignty that allows you to do that because man is made up of half dust, half deity. The deity part of self is a God part of self that is supernatural, that allows you to create your own heaven on earth. However, if you're detached and disassociated due to trauma, well, that trauma is still there. It's just suppressed, and suppressed energy eventually becomes repressed energy that you're not even aware of. And that's what determines your energy vibration, bringing you people and situations that are in alignment with that energy. So, again, you're the alchemist of your life, you're the healer of your life. So, let's jump in and see. What is the underlining energy? The underlining energy is always the first two cards that I pull out, and it tells us why everyone does what they do. Really important when you're dealing with a person that creates illusions. They create facades, right? We don't know why they do what they do. And the reason why is because they're in their reality. And a lot of times their reality is based on some traumatic experience that played out in a relationship. So, it doesn't have anything really to do with you a lot of times. However, you can be the person that is determining your energy because you're light. I feel like you're someone that really tries to live in alignment with your higher self, which is that spirit part of self, the God part of self. Like you're honoring yourself. You finally come to a place saying, like, you know what? No one's in charge of my happiness. I'm in charge of my happiness. I'm not going to let other people determine that. And I kind of feel like you were either in a long-term relationship or grew up in an environment where you were kind of always taught to dim your light, always taught to compromise. And the thing is, you're no longer doing it. So what's determining the energy really, I feel like, is you. Now, understand your light is going to affect a lot of people's demons is what I know when you're vibrating at such a high vibration. So let's see what, again, anxiety and worry. Well, you're connected to someone that actually sees that, wow, like I totally misjudged who I thought that you were. I like, why didn't I see who you were? And so they have a lot of anxiety because I feel like this person toyed a lot. They played a lot of games. There was betrayal there to the point that you became intolerant. So I don't feel like you let it get to a place of being resentful. This person's resentful because, hey, their mask fell off. You don't trust them anymore. And their pride is really what kept them from you. Now, the thing is like you're triggering a lot of jealousy inside this person. And the real reason why is because, hey, you're being diplomatic with them, is vibing at such a high vibration. It's a Christ consciousness, which is again, Christ consciousness is just the energy of unconditional love, which is, you know, all the higher levels of consciousness. So it's strength, it's perseverance, it's courageous, it's compassionate, it's all those higher levels of consciousness that we display out within our character, which is how you have chosen to deal with this person, even though that they don't deserve it. That, and so understand that's humbling this person because they want you to get mad. They're jealous because, hey, you're disconnecting, which means, hey, you're moving away from them. This person thought that you were going to run after them. Now they're like obsessed with you because you're making them feel powerless. Because, listen, the whole time they acted like they didn't care. So there's so much grief that this person has, but they're not going to show you that. What they're going to show you is that they're self-righteous because that, again, being in this energy means they have to heal, and that doesn't feel well. So the mask that they wear is, again, to be self-righteous. They think who they are. They're mad. Because listen, this person likes to come across as being like a perfectionist, someone that is takes pride in who they are. Thing is, they were in denial, and so what we see here again is self-righteous, even in another deck. But really, what's underneath that is anxiety. Anxiety because the entire time they dealt with you, they were inconsistent. And understand that's intermittent manipulation that creates brain damage. When a person comes in and out of your life, when they're one way with you one day and then act completely different to you the next day. And they're doing it in a underhanded way. They're doing it psychically. They're not going to say anything, but you can tell by their mood, almost like every little thing influences them. So if they're around friends or people that can trigger them through, again, their perception of what your relationship should be, how you should be acting. So again, this person's not strong within themselves. They withdrew from you. Again, and not wanting to come across as cowardly, this person acted rebellious. They need a lot of attention. And then they don't get the attention, they become reckless. And then when they're dealing with you, they want to act as if they're superior. And then you say something to them and they act as if they're unaware. But really, the whole truth is that this person doesn't really feel as if they belong anywhere. They're insecure. That's what's underneath there. And that's the thing. And this person wanted you to become consumed with them. They're not. You're not. They are. They're just creating illusions because, again, they're haunted because they acted like they didn't care. And they did this by always looking for something, never actually giving you the time. The whole time you were there. They wanted you to be the savior, and it's like, and you didn't play the game. You weren't going to be codependent. You weren't going to be the fixer. You're in a high vibration of light. This person didn't see you. And that happens a lot of times because God protects us when we are vibing at such a high vibration. As this person saw your humbleness as being weak, they saw your persevering as like almost like, oh, look how hard you have to work. It's like no one's gonna like believing you. No one's gonna like, they saw you through their limited perception. And they were vibing at such a low vibration due to all the illusions that they created. They wanted people to believe that when you were real. And there's a process to real that doesn't look all glamorous. It's again, it means that you have to persevere. You have to be humble sometimes. You have to, again, take chances. You have to be willing to be mocked. You have to be willing to be shut out. You have to be willing to go up against people that just aren't going to like you or want to stop you or whatever it is, it's their issue, projection. We have to be strong enough within ourselves. They didn't see those beginning traits as high vibrational because, hey, it doesn't look like that. This person had expectations that what they feel a person needs to be, but understand a person only needs to be that way unless this person like is missing that within themselves. See, when we feel whole within ourselves and we meet people, we can enjoy to be with a person where they're at, meaning we're going to connect with that person through their hobbies, their interests, their whatever it is. Or we're not going to actually interact with them at all. We might be nice to them, but we're just going to stay away. You know, never be disrespectful. This person only wants to be around people that drive nice cars, live in fancy houses, and show that they have a lot of things. This person didn't see you as that when they first met you. So again, they wanted to form an attachment where they were always scheming, because normally they can get people to do that because they create illusions about who they are, assuming that you are going to be dutiful. Where the moment that you got trained, you disconnected and you made this person the victim, and now that's why they're lost because they're deceiving that you aren't going to allow this person come into your life and create a lot of trouble. But I feel like this person just sabotaged the connection because they let it like get ahead of them. Like it's almost like their ego took over. And it's like, I saw you as this person, which is humble, someone that's, honest, someone that's a good person, but they thought was like, oh, you're just an average person. You're just like where they wanted the illusion of a person. And a lot of times what they attract is people that are acting the same exact way that they are. And what they're seeing is that, wow, like you were a true person and who they met is not who you actually are anymore. That it was the process. This person was too busy playing games to actually realize, is what I feel. And they're now afraid of losing you. So that's why I understand because now what they see is you're everything that I wanted to begin with, but they didn't believe in you. And so they can't stand the thought of you with someone else because, hey, you were really into them. You really had feelings. There was really a connection, but they played games. So again, with the too many repetitive cycles, this person knows that they took it to the extreme. So again, they sabotage the connection. They are ashamed of how they treated you. And the thing is, they run away from avoiding their problems that created so much toxicity within this connection instead of them actually talking through it. That's what it is. So this person stays in a place of dreaming about you, and and but also the fact that you make them nervous because you would make them hold to a standard. They would have to apologize. They would have to be vulnerable. They would have to surrender their ego and get into the energy of unconditional love. And that terrifies them because that means they have to be transparent. That means they have to be vulnerable. And that means you would have to be, compassionate, which I don't think this person has had that, which is also why they create a lot of illusions. So they are making changes, but they ran away because they felt that they couldn't live up to your standards. And that's what happened. And so that's what happened because they let the situation get so out of control that you don't see them the same way. And that's what they feel because it's again, they betrayed you. But does that mean that they don't have feelings? Does that mean no, the person can have feelings for you and just, again, they need healing. They know that they can't be with you until they actually do the healing. You're not going to accept it. By then, you're going to be someone else because they played so many games and wasted so much time. So it's again, that's why the song goes, you don't know what you got till it's gone. I wish I could take it all back. Yeah, it's like stop wishing. It's like the only thing that they could do is try and heal. It's like again, this person down deep inside is afraid of commitment. It's not that they don't have sexual fantasies about you. They do. But that's keeping it at a low vibration. It's lust. And so again, which would require you to not be able to like be your true self. You'd have to abandon yourself to please this person. And that's again a person on a lower vibration that is just stuck in the repetitive cycles of toxicity because they don't really want to, by not facing you, they actually run from the healing that they need to do for themselves. You represent that healing. They don't want to do it. Instead, they'll stay fragmented. They'll have clouded vision, and again, a lot of just fragmented parts of themselves that happen from past relationships because this person stays not just in repetitive cycle with you, but the repetitive karmic cycle is that this is all that they know how to create. So if it's not toxic, it doesn't feel right. Like the toxic is being with a lower vibrational person that's going to chase them, that's going to settle for less, that's going to fight for their love and prove to them and it's like that's not who you are. You're at a very high vibration. You've gotten to a place of understanding what that actually means, for you. And you don't just live it in your mind, you're actually grounded it. So this person can't, only you can abandon you, and you're not doing it. And that's what this person sees. So you have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? I understand there's never a shortage for people that don't know their worth, unfortunately. And this person will just go and find those people is because they don't want to do the healing that they need. And so you have to say, why would I attract someone like that into my life? What is the universe trying to teach me? Because I really don't understand what the hell that is. Um, We have to say that a lot of times. And we also have to say, and what am I supposed to do with the negative energy? Because let me tell you, there's going to be negative energy. Like if a relationship that you invested in and you thought that this person was someone that they weren't and you would do, you're going to feel mad. And you want to know what to do with that energy because you have to not just learn to see how did you contribute? Why did that person come into your life? What do they symbolize? On a spiritual level, we have to look at that and we see again, look, no physical touch. That to me is no emotional, not getting that emotional nurturing that you needed growing up. So again, that created a lot of detachment, disassociation where, you couldn't say anything. Do we only have five here? I need to pick one more. So, understand you detached and that's disassociated. You weren't allowed to have your feelings because obviously if you weren't getting nurtured by emotionally connected, there was no guidance. And if you were, like were emotional about something, well, now you're being rebellious. You're causing problems. You're going to say how we're treating you. You're going to tell people how we're treating you, but meanwhile, we're treating you disrespectfully. We're hurting you. We're emotionally not giving you love. We're trying to make you feel unworthy, trying to make you feel not good enough about yourself. So it's again, they don't see it as a form of neglect. Again, you're going to say something, you were belittled. So there was a sense of, again, you were not just not getting anything emotionally, you weren't allowed to express what your needs were either. Because if you were bullied. Because belittled is bullied. And when a parent does that, there's obviously we don't feel safe with ourselves. Like there's something wrong with you for having feelings, for having emotions. Don't say anything. You say something, well, now I'm going to punish you more. I'm going to neglect you more because you're seen as rebellious. So there's no guidance and there's no emotional nurturing at all. It's again, so that trauma pushed you into a place of disassociation, detachment. Understand you went through the experience and you remember it, but you don't have a feeling about it one way or the other because you weren't allowed to have feelings. You weren't allowed to say what you needed, express who you are, express what your needs were, because hey, you're gonna say something, you're bad. Even if you're being abused. If you're being abused, it doesn't matter. No one wants to hear it. Again, you're causing negativity to the family. You're again, so you got to keep your mouth shut. You don't get along with your parents aren't treating you well, you have to take it, swallow it, deal with it. It's like again, my house, my rules. And there's going to be punishment, and the punishment is I'm going to ignore you, I'm going to neglect you, I'm going to neglect what your needs, I'm going to neglect you on an emotional level, and that's very traumatizing for a child. So spirit says now it's time to listen to the whispers of your soul guiding you. Align your actions with your values. You want to, again, always come from that highest level of consciousness so that what you're giving out is what you're going to get back. You want to, again, also if understand that those flies or moths will go to the light. It's like anything will go to the light. So it's not about, oh, these people still come to me. It's about recognizing them and shooing them away. It's about saying, thank you very much, but I'm not interested. That you can recognize discernment that a person is full of lies and illusions when they haven't created enough of themselves. We see why you attracted that person into your life because that type of trauma where you're not nurtured and you're neglected and ignored, then you don't really know a lot of yourself because you grew up in an environment where you had to compromise who you were. You had to dim your light in order to survive because your light triggered, again, that person's demons. So it was time to alchemize that negative energy. You had to turn the pain into power. You had to use your power to turn the adversity into an opportunity to create the positive change. That's how we embody a new consciousness. And so you can finally see beyond the illusion. The illusion is what everyone else wants you to perceive about yourself. It's not about who you are. It's again, we have to see beyond the illusion. Don't let the world tell you who you are, because the world will always tell you that you're something that you're not due to whatever the world's perceptions are based on that world's situations and scenarios that have played out within it. So again, the kingdom of heaven's within you. You get to determine who you are and what you want to become, regardless of who doesn't like it. And then we're going to be people that say, I don't really like the way you got there. I think that you didn't do that right. Again, judgment. They don't need to. Again, you're the creator of your life. You're the alchemist of your life. You're the designer of your life. You can't, again, being with this type of person that doesn't give anything, Spirit says, and understand that you would be then someone that's fearful, that would need to know every little step of the way. God says, only in the now do I give you divine guidance, and you will never know how things play out. Just know when the student is ready, the teacher appears, that the universe conspires at the right time and the right place with the right situations to bring you everything that you need. The perception is that it was supposed to happen a certain way. It was supposed to happen at this time, in this way, in order to make us safe. And Spirit says it'll never go that way because only I can change your mind and your heart about bringing you the people, the situations, and the experiences that change your mind and your heart. Release control. Surrender. It's again, you're safe. Walk in faith. Again, faith is the bridge that connects you. And I understand that's hard because a lot of times we want to see fact. It's again the logical, analytical mind is gets too involved, and spirit says, release control. You have to come to a place of surrender and understand the universe will bring you everything that you need to help you within your evolution. And that's, you have to have a strong relationship to the higher self, that God part of self. And Spirit says that's how we can go with the flow of life by releasing control. That we utilize what's in our environment to create ourselves, to make a new way where there is no way just for you. Understand? Have courage to act from a place of love, however, instead of fear. Again, we want to release control. It's about being able to go with the flow, and that's only going to be through our passion for life. That's how we can let go of fear. That's how we transmute that fear. That's how we turn that pain into power. And Spirit says you're down there in physical form to learn and to manifest, to learn that you are one with the Creator through the Holy Spirit that makes you one. But God is ubiquitous through everything, everyone, all the time, that everything's in divine order, even the experiences that we don't like, because they're supposed to be teaching us something all the time. And so we leave off with one more message from the divine. And this is what fell out. So we have to take it on the side, but we're going to pull one too because I like to pick myself. Spirit sometimes likes to pick, where it's like, well, I want to pick one too. And Spirit says you're supposed to release control. So, spirits pick learning to love myself. Choose to see the beauty in yourself. Your wealth lies in your nature and your potential. You transform your weaknesses into strengths. You realize that you are a being of light and you allow yourself to shine. Hey, that's why you got light in the beginning, that you're finally allowing yourself to shine because you're learning to love yourself. You don't need to be invisible. And my pick, faithfulness, that you commit to your mind, your heart, and your will, that you are devoted to the needs of your own soul, that you trust in yourself, in God and the universe at this time, that you don't need to rely on anything else or anyone else. Because a lot of people may say, I don't really like what you're doing here. You're not $100 bill. Remember that not everyone's going to love you. You're not meant for every foot, but there is a shoe for every foot. Know that and understand if you create it, you will attract the right people into your life. So have faithfulness to commit to what you want to do. Be true to you and know that the universe always has your back as long as it's what's best for everyone involved. And God and the universe always know whether you're true. And you are true because you're shining your light. You're not letting people suppress it, even though maybe some people don't really like what you're doing or they don't really understand what you're doing. God says they will eventually, but you have to again be, be on your path. Most people are seen as crazy when they bring forth new ideas, especially that are different. There's, aggression of don't do it and, wanting to see it as bad. And then eventually, if it's true, it unfolds the way that it should. And so it's again learning to love yourself. It's a process, and you're going to be, your path and your experiences are built on that process. So it wouldn't be uncommon for you to have to go up against adversity from other people due to, again, the way that you were brought up, having someone try to suppress you. It's again meaning not even giving you that emotional support. Spirit says you kind of got to give it to yourself in the beginning. Eventually, it will come. I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. Oh, Wednesday is the Healers Coaching for Gemini. Tonight is Virgo, tomorrow is Scorpio, and Wednesday is going to be live live for the healers group. I think I only have one person on this channel because I just started to do this. So if you're interested in shadow healing, you want to definitely click on the link. $7.99 will get you inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, all the healing modalities to help you heal the effects of trauma. We, again, are very interactive in this group. It's a group coaching program for you to help you heal, to recognize, again, certain behaviorisms from people that have a lower vibration so that you can better discern for yourself and to be prepared of what to look out for while you're dating. If you're dating, you don't want to continue to date people that keep you stuck in a place of feeling not worthy, not good enough. Again, any energy that takes you out of the energy of unconditional love, which unfortunately karmic connections do that. And they copy the same exact scenarios that we've already lived, which is what solidifies that belief that we can't have something, where really that thought, again, makes us separate from our creator. But again, there is no separation. The illusion that there's separation due to the trauma, due to the experiences that we lived. You have the power to alchemize your life. You have the power to change your life because God made us in his image. We have the power to change our mind and our hearts. They're healing organisms. Be true to you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.